Hey, what's going on? Like, share, subscribe. My name is Babe Parkland. Welcome to Parkland Media. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be going over the From Season 4 Episode 10 trailer.
It's because we're getting close to the end. It gets very messy at the end.
You need to finish this. You need to break the cycle. Your children deserve to go home.
What happens next?
There is no plan B.
Everyone here is gonna die!
We can't just give up.
All right, then tell me how to move forward.
There's nowhere for you to hide. Now I light the match and I watch it burn.
Okay, now I light the match and watch it burn. Let's go through this frame by frame and see what we can make of it. Boyd, Ellis, and Randall, they were at the faraway tree with the mission to pull the faraway tree up from the roots. So maybe they went back to the clinic to get supplies and Fatima decided to go with them. And when they go back to the clinic, maybe they've already pulled up the faraway tree and it's when a tree falls in the forest. So the faraway tree has been taken out of the root and maybe that's what's causing this blackened sky or sky going with black clouds and lightning and everything that we see in the township. Yeah, I don't think there's ever been lightning like that before in the township between when Victor was young in the previous cycle and this current cycle. There was a weather manipulation season 1, episode 10, when the townspeople were trying to use the radios. There was the storm to stop either the townspeople from using the radios or to stop Boyd and Sarah from going to the lighthouse. It's unknown whether it was one of the events or both of them. I think it may have been Boyd and Sarah going to the lighthouse or getting close to it that caused the storm. And here's why I say that. So when Jim was on the radio trying to reach out to someone, the man in the yellow suit answered and said, "Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole." And we know that Tabitha ended up going through the basement of the Matthews first house, went into the chamber of the cave system, saw the cave painting before the rubble from the house came down and Victor got her and they navigated the cave. And then Tabitha saw one of the ghoulish children for the first time. And ever since then, the ghoulish children have been haunting Tabitha. So that may have been what the man in the yellow suit was alluding to. But the man in the yellow suit never told Jim, you shouldn't be using a radio. It was your wife shouldn't be digging that hole. So in my opinion, I think because the man in the yellow suit did not say anything negative about the radio, the storm, even though it damaged the radio equipment, it may have been about Boyd and Sarah preventing them from going to the lighthouse on foot. But it could be because of the radio as well, because knowledge comes at a cost. But I imagine that the man in the yellow suit would have said something about the radio and not just your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, because that put Tabitha on the path to get to the faraway tree for Jay to play the violin and to hear Nkui. And Jim had to go because he helped them gain knowledge they weren't supposed to have when he came up with the idea that the papers inside the bottles that were hanging from the bottle tree were music notes. All right, so they're looking up. Either the mission was a failure or the mission may have been a success with getting the faraway tree uprooted. I'm going to say that they finally got the faraway tree uprooted, but maybe they were going to get supplies or something, because if it was mission accomplished, Jade and Tabitha made it out of the cave system, Randall wouldn't be with them. So I think Randall being with them is because there was some type of emergency at the faraway tree. And we even see something on Boyd's chest, which I think is maybe blood from maybe while getting the faraway tree down, someone got injured. And that's why there's blood on Boyd's chest. But Randall, in my opinion, wouldn't be with them if it was mission success. So they probably went to the clinic to get supplies or something. And so they're seeing what appears to be yellow lightning, or maybe yellow lightning or orange lightning, and definitely a red sky, which seems to be a sign like that it's end of days or Armageddon. And probably because they pulled the faraway tree up and hence the name of of episode 10, when a tree falls in the forest. So yeah, the whole township is like, what's going on? It's a really bad moment. So I think what Sophia is going to do to light a match, I think she's going to go by all of the houses and get the talisman stones and hide them. She may go and hide the totems, or maybe have Clara or Elgin go do that, because she touched Elgin's arm. So maybe she may be turning Elgin into like a puppet or something. But I imagine that Sophia is going to need all hands on deck and is not going to want to just simply kill people. So maybe she has a way to control Elgin, and he's going to be doing her bidding like Clara, but be more controlled than Clara. Or Sophia has killed Elgin. But I think she'll probably would want to control Elgin and use him so that she can enact the last part or the next part of her plan of the different games that she's playing. Those are the children's bones that Jade and Tabitha were going to get on their mission. So it appears to be bright. In the chamber, it is clearly dark, or supposed to be thought of as dark, and all the light they have are the lights that they brought with them. So that's the chamber right there. But then when switching to the trailer, it appears to be brighter, as if the faraway tree has been pulled up from its roots, and now the light from above is shining. Maybe they tried to use the ladder, and the ladder is cut. And Tabitha and Jade have no way of escaping the chamber, but maybe the bones, like Jade was saying, will protect them. Yeah, it does seem bright, as if there's light coming from above, especially just from how it looks on episode 9, where the only light is the light that they brought with them. Look how dark it is in that shot, episode 9. And then looking at the trailer for episode 10, is definitely brighter, as if the light's coming from above, where the faraway tree would be on the top of the cave. Oh, they're coming on in. So this is more than likely before, when talking to Tabitha and I guess convincing her to get the bones or something.
What's next?
There is no plan B.
All right, so there's no plan B. So plan A was to get the tree up from the root. This may be before they decide to go to the clinic, and maybe they may discover that the ladder has been cut and is no good.
There's no plan B.
So that may be what it is, but they eventually found a way to get the faraway tree up, and that's why we have the lightning in town. So plan A may have worked as far as the faraway tree being taken up, but the ladder was messed up because we saw Sophia cutting the rope to the ladder in the diner when she was in there with everybody else on the previous episode.
Everyone here is gonna die.
It's daytime outside, so maybe this is after seeing the lightning while they're outside, and Ethan is losing it.
We can't just give up.
Julie's looking more like, instead of consoling Ethan, that she's maybe listening to him and he's given some type of vision that he's seen or prophecy, and that's why she's kind of like looking like that. But we know that future Julie story walks to go to Jim. So I've said before in a previous video that I think there's at least 2 timelines, and that this Julie, when story walking, has gone to a different timeline when story walking. So it's reasonable to believe that the future Julie that we saw season 3, episode 10, was a Julie from a different timeline coming to this main one. This Julie still may in the future story walk to where Jim was, and we may see that play out.
We can't just give up.
All right, then tell me how to move forward.
Okay, so this may be a scene where after the faraway tree's been pulled up, there's no plan B, lightning in the town, the sky's gone dark, and it may be worst case scenario. And then Fatima is transforming. I think she's transforming into something equivalent to the ghoulish children. Maybe she's transforming into one of the monsters, or maybe she's transforming into a different type of monster thanks to Sophia and Yellow's blood. But I think that the reason why Henry and Clara have a different response to Sophia's blood, because something was already in Fatima causing the varicose veins on her. The blood from Sophia may speed up what Fatima's got going on, and she may turn into a monster. Or maybe the kimono woman. So Boyd's kind of like giving up, and Acosta's like, no, we can't give up. I don't know. So I think this is before the faraway tree was uprooted. And maybe they're in the process of uprooting it. He just ripped off the tarp. Now, if we go to the previous episode, looking at the previous episode, this is episode 9. The talisman stone is up here. When looking at the trailer, when he rips the tarp off, unless it's like a frame before, it kind of looks like this is the talisman stone right here. That's fly. Yeah. So this looks like it's the talisman stone that was hanging up, that's being forced off the wall with the tarp. So I'm thinking that when they uprooted the faraway tree and all this stuff is going on with the sky and the lightning and everything, the talisman stones may now be negated and they're just rocks. So like Jade was saying, when he believed that the bones of the children were going to protect them, I think the bones of the children are what's going to protect Jade and Tabitha, and they're going to be safe in the cave system. And going forward, instead of using talisman stones, people may have to use the children's bones for some type of protection. Maybe even the children's bones may be able to hurt the monsters. Ripping off the tarp, I think we can see the talisman stone flying off the wall, and maybe that's the reason why Jade and Tabitha have that scared look on their face. Yeah, it looks like the talisman stone is flying off the wall, and now he's coming in. And so he's looking down at the bones. So most of the time they're smiling when they get around people. So she's still smiling. I don't know what's up with that, but it's not the look the monsters gave each other when Smiley died. He's looking down. He doesn't look sad. He just looks like he's in awe. You done did it now. I told you all not to do it. You done did it now. Okay, so Smiley's coming on in. I think Sophia's going to be taking talisman stones off of walls and opening up the doors to all the buildings. Sophia's going to be a menace. I don't know if he just opened the door on his own or if it was already opened, but it's looking like he probably opened the door because his hand is back as if he just got done opening the door and now he's looking inside to go get his prey. All right, in the trailer, the area where Smiley's walking into, it's the clinic. It's the same door he went in when he went after Kenny's dad. Season 1, episode 2. So this is Smiley walking in the door, and you see pink walls. And then when looking at the scene where Smiley's coming in, the next room when Kenny's dad's nurse sees Toby, and then she goes over to look at the door. Yeah, this is the same entrance where Smiley walked in with his companion before murdering Kenny's dad and his caretaker. Yeah, so she walked in, she saw Toby, dropped the tray, went over, seen Smiley and the companion. In the trailer, he might be going after Fatima. And when he walks in, you see his eyes go to our left, his right. Because Fatima's transforming, Smiley may go in there and attack Marielle or Christy. But more than likely, if Frum's going down the direction of really causing chaos, he probably is going to go get Christy, since Marielle has a connection to the township because she was in the dungeon when she was possessed by the supernatural cicada season 2. So my bet or my guess would be he's going after Christy, but it could be Marielle. I think if Fatima's there, he's going to leave Fatima alone, maybe make her watch. And she may tell him to stop and he may say no or something and then go after Marielle or Christy. I would probably think Christy, since Marielle has a connection with the dungeon when Julie, Randall, and Marielle were possessed by the supernatural cicadas. I believe that Marielle has more to her story with whatever abilities that she has, whereas Christy, I mean, she's the doctor, but I think narratively speaking, the show would be able to continue on with a medical person by having Marielle survive and then Christy go. And it kind of would be kind of poetic because Christy did not want Fatima to use her ability to save anyone. And now Christy needs to be saved and no one's coming to rescue her. So whoever's in there hiding, he got you. And yeah, I think that's what Sophia is going to plan on doing, is by setting this place on fire, burning it all down, maybe figuratively, like hiding the talisman stones or doing something, some type of spell or ritual to negate the talisman stones. But the way Sophia is talking, she more than likely is involved with making the sky the way it is, bringing on doomsday. She may start fires and burn stuff down.
Now I light the match.
Yeah, so she may be literally setting stuff on fire, and that's what she's doing right now. It seems like she may be rubbing something together to cause friction for a fire. So like now I light the match or setting something on fire. She may start burning down houses, hiding talisman stones, opening up doors, doing the most.
Now I light the match and I watch it burn.
Yeah, so she may be talking figuratively or literally as far as watching it burn and everything. And we know that she's in the diner when she's saying this because the diner background is behind her. Maybe she's talking to Clara. Maybe Clara may grow a spine and decide to go against Sophia. If Elgin is dead, that could be the only thing that really could reveal Sophia is who she is Clara deciding, I'm not going to go home. This is wrong. We've gone too far. I'm going to tell. See more items laid out than we did in the previous episode. I think the faraway tree being uprooted is causing everything, plus Sophia maybe doing some type of ritual or something. This looks like it's like maybe it's more light coming in from even back there. Maybe the monsters will start walking in the daytime. Maybe the bones will make it to where the monsters don't attack Jade and Tabitha.
It's because we're getting close to the end. It gets very messy at the end.
Maybe she's talking to Clara or Elgin under her control.
You need to finish this. You need to break the cycle. Your children deserve to go home.
What happens next?
There is no plan B.
Everyone here is gonna die.
We can't just give
All
up.
right, then tell me how to move forward.
There's nowhere for you to hide. Now I light the match.
There's nowhere for you to hide.
There's nowhere for you to hide. Now I light the match and I watch it burn.
Yeah, Victor's in there dealing with an earthquake. I think Henry may end up going into the sheriff's station and may contemplate taking out Victor. So maybe Kenny is the one that lets Victor out and saves Victor. But Henry is contemplating going to the other reality by getting rid of the anchor, which is Victor. Kenny probably lets him out. I don't think Kenny's going to just keep him in there, even though Victor said he was going to stop them. Victor probably is going to beat at the wall or bang at the wall. Kenny's going to come in, let him out, and he's going to be free. Or maybe Henry comes in and does something to Kenny, and now it's Victor and Henry. Victor tries to reason with his dad. One thing to take note of is that the creatures normally sleep in creature mode, and they're in human mode in episode 9. So I think the monsters or the creatures knew this was going to happen, and that's the reason why they didn't run towards where Tabitha and Jade was, like Smiley ran after Miranda. They may have anticipated this happening, and they may have warned Jade and Tabitha to not dig up the bones, because it may be that because the monsters did a ritual with the bones, and the monsters may have did a ritual to make Jade and Tabitha be reincarnated to go back to the town over and over and over again, for the monsters to torture them and all that. It may be that the ritual to undo what happened to the children may have to be done by the people who did the ritual, especially because they more than likely know what they're doing. There's no, I mean, as of right now, there's no books in the township as to how to do rituals or how things work, since the place was built on ritual. So because there's no books available, Sophia and the monsters are like the only experts for ritualistic stuff. So they probably have to be the ones to undo things properly, and they don't have a reason to. So that may be the reason why the cowboy creature said you shouldn't be doing that, because they don't know what's going to happen. But I think the monsters know that you shouldn't do it. And right now they're sleeping or resting in human form, which is not what they normally do. And I think they were anticipating this. They're just kind of waltzing. They're not running. He's not smiling.
You know, you really shouldn't be doing that.
The last time a warning was given by the evil side, it was the man in yellow. And he said that to Jim, and Tabitha ended up falling through the basement and seeing the cave painting and being haunted by the Nkui kids. But based off what Sophia said, they have the right idea about getting the bones, but it's about how you do it. And maybe that's what the monsters are talking about. But you can't believe them. You can't believe the monsters, because obviously they more than likely lie. Like Christopher said, everything lies here. But my theory is that the monsters have to be the ones to do the how in order to do it properly, since they're the ones that did the ritual, that used the children's bones, and maybe they have to be the ones to undo it as well. So taking the bones may have an effect. But I think the bones will protect Jade and Tabitha because they got plot armor. By taking the bones, it may negate the talisman stone or something. And that's why he just throws the sheet and throws the stone. Maybe the monsters spare them and they have a conversation, or they may hold Jade and Tabitha prisoner to force other people to come into the cave system to rescue them. And maybe that'll have Boyd and Ellis and Fatima get into the cave system. And then Fatima may make her final transformation down there. And now they're dealing with a Fatima who is a monster. But Fatima as a monster, or maybe a kimono woman, I think would be different than the monsters that are on the show. She may be a monster that is a good monster because of the golem that she made. So that's what I'm thinking as far as for the trailer for episode 10, taking the faraway tree and taking it out of its roots and uprooting it. I think is what's going to cause a lot of mayhem and suffering. And it's going to be what Martin, who I believe was in the future, was describing to Boyd when Martin said there's darkness in the forest, nightmares, you couldn't begin to imagine, things you were never meant to see. I think what Martin was talking about and chose death over freedom is because of what they're causing right now. Maybe Julie story walks from the future where it's really, really bad, and she may be trying to reverse not just Jim's death, but how bad things are where she story walked from. So there it is. If you want to support the channel, watch ads without skipping, become a channel member. You can also avoid watching ads by becoming a YouTube Premium member. If you want to donate to the platform, donate through Super Thanks. You can also donate through Cash App, that's $Spade Parkland. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. If watching on a cell phone and you see the hype button, click hype and hype me up. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.